Laura!
Yes.
What were you obsessing about as a teenager?
You see, you said things like, I know you said diary, but you were talking about girls and you were talking about, like, cool musicians and David Bowie. I was debating club. I was debating club. And not just like...
Debating?
So I used to stay back by choice at school to do debating. I used to do English debating, but I used to love arguing so much. I also did French debating and Irish debating. So I debated in 3 languages, and I wasn't necessarily good at those languages. I loved an argument.
Brilliant. So you couldn't speak French, but...
No, but what I used yeah, still to this day, I remember with Irish debating. I kind of just learned off the intro bit. I learned off a few kind of refutes and things that I could do. And then I learned off like an outro. So to this day in my head, I can just go into Tá sé fear, which is like, that's true, or Níl sé fear cur bit. It's not true at all. And then I used to just like waffle, but do it with intensity.
Brilliant.
And I did that in French as well.
That's not embarrassing at all, though. It's really admirable.
Well, it depends what you're debating. It depends what you're saying.
That's pretty embarrassing, man.
You reckon?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's lame as hell, bro.
I'm like a...
You used to stay back by choice.
I love the fact that you think that teenagers wanted to stay back at school and do debate is not embarrassing.
I just think these days, I take my hat off to you.
Thank you.
These days, but not as a teenager. You've got to look at that loser.
But actually, my mom came over recently and she brought over my my Irish debating award.
Oh.
Actually, it's quite heavy.
You won an award
Well,
for it.
let's have a look at it. What does it say?
It says Gaelin Comórtas Regional. So that's the regional competition 2001 at Dara Hutch, which means second place. So didn't win.
Second place.
Who
Who
beat
won?
you? Who is that person?
Who won it? Don't pretend you don't know.
Where are they now? It's insignificant who won, Rhod. Let's not give them the airtime.
Wow.
I'm not bitter.
No. Jamali. Now then.
Well, we've heard...
Young Jamali.
Yeah, we've heard quite introspective diary confessions. We've had, intellectual debate. And my one is tits. The Daily Sport.
Daily Sport.
The Daily Sport. Well, basically...
That was your obsession growing up?
Well, I say the obsession was more, say, the hustle, right? Because we used to shot Daily Sport pictures.
What do you
Daily
mean?
Sport is not about sports. So
There's not a lot of sport in it.
Okay.
You remember page 3?
Yeah.
Think of that as a whole paper.
Okay.
And then it would have like a news story being like, an alien ate my cat and now I have to have a divorce.
Oh, like National Enquirer.
Yeah.
Right.
The sport was literally maybe like a page. It'll be like, there was a game, but here's more tits.
Okay, love the tits.
So you're selling the Daily Sport?
People are too frightened to go buy
Kids?
it.
Other kids?
Yeah. So I would go buy it because I had no shame or fear.
Because you looked like that at 14.
I like that at 40. So I'd go there, buy some fags, have a coffee with the guy, how's the wife, how's the kids, right? And you'd buy them, and then you would sell the pages, right? So I'd sell each page for like maybe £1, 50p. No. And I'd make
so
like...
how much was the whole paper, did you say?
Paper was maybe like 40p.
And how many pages in it?
It was quite a thick paper.
How many kids did you have on your,
Oh, there was a lot of people. We had stuff on Tick. Tick is when someone owes you money.
I know Tick.
Yeah. So we was like, people were running up debts and that. But then the downfall came.
Yeah.
Because what happened was I got high on my own supply and I brought too much back to my house. Right? And I had a big stack of them in my house and my mum found them.
Oh, my goodness.
And my mum found them and showed them to my grandparents and that. And she had them all out and that. And she showed them to my grandparents and she was like bare mad at me.
So this is the Daily Sport?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
This is a fairly...
That's like an older version of what I had, but yeah.
This is an old...
That we would sell that as vintage. Do you know what I mean? We'd sell that as vintage. Like, do you know what I mean? Man, I would let that go for like 20p just as
But that's just the front page. Like you're putting it up.
I'll let that go 20p.
So we got 20p from the front page.
Yeah, you just take that 20p. I'd say that's black and white. Do you know what? Normally I'd say 60, but for you, I'll give that to 40.
What, to get me hooked?
No, plus I know you, innit? So I'm like, here, you take that for 40, I've got you.
Oh, that was your sales pattern.
Yeah.